Take his badge off.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Psychedelic 2025 closing. But you know I can't finish off without grabbing a few people before the end of the show here. I got with me Sabba Nazhand, Jack Gorsline. Gentlemen, it's closing.
Closing.
What do you guys think? Sabba, let me start with you. There was so many incredible people here.
Yeah.
Psychedelics 2025, way different than 2023. Well, tell us some of the highlights that you saw coming into this convention.
Yeah, I think for me, like being here in 23 was on such a high with all the talk about MDMA getting legalized or approved by the FDA.
Right.
And obviously, it didn't happen. So there was like this gray cloud coming into this year's conference. But I think it bounced back. That big news with Iboga in Texas,
Yeah.
Austin, it was just amazing. And a lot of the scientific stuff, a bunch of panels around like that. And that thought for me was fantastic. Yeah, just great crowds, great people, super overwhelming. But overall, I think that was, for me, the biggest highlight was that news out of Texas.
Yeah. You know what else is highlighting is this journalist over here, Jack Gorsline, breaking probably the bombshell story of Psychedelic Science 2025. He had to duck a few punches, I'm sure. But Jack, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. Want to give us a little rundown on the bombshell that you dropped?
Yeah, well, first of all, George, thank you for having me. As always, pleasure. It's been really great to connect in person for the first time, and
Yeah.
thank you for being at the first ever gathering of the Psychedelic Writers Guild on Wednesday night. A really great time. We're excited to roll out some more info about that soon. My latest piece broke on via Lucid News in the Boston Institute for Nonprofit Journalism on Wednesday morning, first day of Psych Science. As those who may be familiar with my work know, I got my start covering the Question 4 campaign in Massachusetts, ballot initiative that was run last year, and covered a lot of the missteps and misconduct affiliated with that campaign along the way. This latest bombshell, we were able to uncover, over $700,000 of alleged campaign finance violations allegedly committed by New Approach PAC, and that unfortunately for a great organization, the World Arts Project seems to have woven them into their mess. My hope is that we can continue to uncover the truth of what really went down about Question 4 in the weeks ahead, and encourage folks to stay tuned for part 2.
Yeah, everybody tune in to Jack Gorsline, incredible writer.
Definitely.
Saba, let me bring it back to you.
Yes.
You have a company called Safar,
Yeah.
which unbelievable integration. I think you guys are leading the charge in the idea of integration around psychedelics. Like you have some really, first off, you have an amazing team.
Thank you.
You're an amazing human.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Safar and
Yeah.
what you have planned for the future and when I can start using this app, man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think you kind of hit it. It's AI integration, but for us, it's bigger than that. It's about human flourishing. And it's about using outcomes-based models to help people not only heal, but become better versions of themselves.
Right.
And that's guided by AI. It's guided by ancient wisdom. And we have a team of amazing people that are helping us with that. And hopefully in the next 6 months, we'll have our MVP out ready to go. Yeah, we have 20 active users in beta right now, an amazing team of partnerships with a few organizations that are bringing practitioners, coaches, and so forth on board as well. And lastly, something that I'm super
Yeah.
proud of is we are in the process of assembling a council of wisdom keepers. And these are folks from indigenous communities, from ancient practices, shamanic practices that are literally helping us build this business in the way of integrity and always remembering, where these medicines come from and how these models are built.
I love it, man. I'm so excited for the future of psychedelics, especially finding ways to use AI into integration.
Totally.
Jack, you've been over here too. What do you think when you look at AI and psychedelics? What comes to your mind?
That I need to learn a lot more. For sure. It's definitely something that I'm intrigued by, and I'm very curious to learn more about. I think that utilization of AI can be a slippery slope. I'm much more confident with guys like Sabba in
Yeah.
charge. Some of the folks at some of the larger corporations you might know about. Some of whom have landed some DoD contracts lately. That said, I know that the Lucid News team utilizes a number of AI tools to really keep our journalism sharp. I think that there is a middle ground, and I am very curious to see how that unfolds in the years ahead. As an ADHDer who struggles to organize my thoughts in a coherent way in the beginnings of the story process sometimes, AI has been really beneficial for my reporting process, especially with the steep learning curve I've had. I just had my first byline less than 2 years ago, so there's been a lot to learn on the fly. But I think we're going to continue to find out and push the boundaries. But again, I think with the right leaders in place for how those tools integrate these, communities like Sabba, I think that we could be in better hands than some of those who are especially afraid might feel.
I love it. I love it. Being here in Denver where things are decriminalized, and I'm coming from California, so things are a lot different. I went out on a Tuesday night. We all were at the Psychedelic Playhouse. And you know what? I seen a bar full of incredible people having really cool discussions, and most of them seem to be on psychedelics of some sort. Do you think that this could be a trend? Instead of people going out and really cutting loose with alcohol, what do you think, Saba, about a future where maybe people go out and have a little bit more of an enlightening discussion with psychedelics?
It's already happening. I think you're seeing it a lot in like the underground communities, private events where there is no alcohol. There are
Right.
elixirs with and pathogens, psychoactive tinctures, etc. And what I believe that is the future. I think alcohol is just everyone knows how detrimental it is, and
Yeah.
what psychedelics do is bring people together. You open up, you're in a space where you can hold space for each other and have great, amazing conversations. And it is the future, not just in Denver. I mean, I see it all the time. I'm in DC, and I won't say where or who, but it's there are places where you can go in a private setting and have those types of conversations in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what? The company Safari, I think a lot of people may not know the definition of that.
Yeah.
But would you be so kind as to maybe tell them what that definition? I think they can get a
course.
better understanding of what the.
so
what it is.
Safar translates to journey in Persian. So I'm originally Iranian. And my heart goes out, I have to say, to the people of Iran and everything that's
Right.
happening to them right now. But yeah, they're on a journey now, and I've been in a life's journey from birth to everything that has happened to me. And we fled the war, so it was only acceptable for me to name the company Safari, which again means journey, and then people who are on the journey to life, to healing and flourishing, to have that opportunity. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's amazing. I did. It's unprecedented times right now with everything that are happening. What do you think? I've spoken to some really cool people that were coming out of this conference, and I think you're going to see a lot of people leave this conference and take some really valuable information back to their communities. What is something that you're going to take back to your community, Jack? Let me start with you.
The community should be holding each other accountable, but also learning from each other actively. I was able to talk to really great activists across a number of states. Some really exciting news coming out of Arizona in the days ahead that you'll learn more about at Lucid News from our very own Allie McGee. I really think that coordination and cooperation and communication, both between psychedelic advocacy groups in the grassroots space, but also psychedelic media organizations and cannabis media organizations and independent media organizations, I think is going to be the next level of the psychedelic advocacy and really, at broad, the psychedelic education movement, which is really what I think we need to be digging into right now, is the American populace and the world, the global population becomes more and more intrigued by any number of areas of psychedelic science, culture, medicine, et cetera, et cetera.
Saba, you have a unique lens through which you're seeing the psychedelic space. As an entrepreneur,
Yep.
as someone who has a beautiful relationship with psychedelics and a friend to so many people here, what are some of the things you're going to be taking back to your community?
Yeah, there are two things that come to mind. Number one, simply put, is like meeting people where they are. There's this rhetoric that happens a lot in this space where people are like, yeah, you have to go to the jungles of Peru and sit with ayahuasca to actually heal. And of course, there's something beautiful to that, but many people don't have that luxury or don't have the access
Right.
or the resources to get to that space, especially underrepresented communities. And so for me, it's going back and be like, no, you don't have to go to Peru. There are beautiful retreats and churches like, in DC and then other places that, yeah, Oakland, exactly, that are
Right.
hosting these beautiful events at a very reasonable, price point and space for everyone to have access to. So I think that's number one, is for me, is like meet people where they are, please. And then number two, there's so much talk about healing and depression and PTSD, which obviously is so important, and that's how it's going to drive to the masses. But there's another thing, especially as an entrepreneur, that I think about a lot, and you're starting to have like Center of Minds is doing this with Bruce Dahmer and Manesh Gurn. Shout out to them.
Yep.
They just launched this in Austin, psychedelic assisted insights. So this was a study that came out, or research that around the 50s with Timothy Leary and James Fadiman with LSD. They were doing tests on folks on how to get more creative, how to open up expand their minds. And I think that's a big takeaway from me, is like, you don't have to be on a healing journey. Yes, everybody has issues, that need to work through, but you can also use psychedelics to be a better version of yourself. Just like how I said with my company, Human Flourishing, right?
Yeah.
So it's these insights, creativity, and how do I become, a better artist, a better entrepreneur, a better XYZ. And I think that's also another thing we need to think about. It doesn't always have to be you know, doom and gloom and scary and all of that. You can just take a tab and listen to music and just have a fucking great time and build something great.
Yeah, I think that's the foundations of all great ideas and sort of businesses is that you have the opportunity. I think psychedelics are going to create a whole new wave of creativity,
Absolutely.
a whole new wave of business, and a whole new, hopefully, it's a whole new set of laws. So,
Absolutely.
for everybody chiming in over here, I know that for my audience that may not know where to find you, Jack, let me start over there with you. Where can people find you if they want to check out the newest article?
You can find the latest article at lucid.news or at horizonmass.news as part of the Boston Institute for Nonprofit Journalism's ongoing efforts to make independent, really, local news available. It's also fully syndicatable because of the Boston Institute for Nonprofit Journalism's mass wire service. So any publications out there that would like to syndicate this breaking news, major investigative expose, you are free to do so. Contact me at your earliest convenience and we will make that happen. But yeah, even beyond that, we're working on the Psychedelic States of America Advocacy Spotlight Initiative. Got a number of great columns coming up on Nevada, Maine, a number of other states in the works as well, and a number of exciting collaborations in the works beyond that project that you'll hear more about soon.
Fantastic. Sabba, people are looking to get a hold of you
Yes.
or want to check out the app. What's a good place to find
Yeah,
you?
a couple spots. First, our teaser website, Join Safar, JoinSafar.com. You can go in there, sign up, and it'll go directly to our inbox, which I'll manage as well. And then me personally, you can go to my Instagram, which is Sabba, SABBA _ get, GET, Zen, ZEHN. And then LinkedIn, my full name, Sabba Nazhand at LinkedIn. Happy to connect and talk to anyone.
Nice. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, thank you so much, Psychedelic Science 2025. We're out of here. Aloha.